That's great. Hello. Ooh, it's warm down here. You'd think it was fall.
Well, it was cold down.
It was. No, I said to Carol, I was kind of discombobulated this morning and didn't put socks on. And I hope David's basement's not too cold, so this is fine.
Oh, good.
Keep my clogs on, but how are you this morning?
I'm good.
Woo!
Oh, we thought we'd be late.
I'm here. Yeah, we thought we'd be late. I know.
Yeah.
But there's no construction on the roads, no paving.
Your driveway's interesting.
Your driveway's, yeah, there's a little traffic jam in the driveway.
Oh, yeah? Who's out there now?
You've got the mowing people.
The mowing people,
Oh,
so they've got
yeah.
the truck and then the trailer. And then the, I assume somebody, well, I
yes,
don't know.
he's doing the backsplash tile. So that, and then tomorrow the painters come,
Ooh, getting there.
and we're almost done.
Yay.
It's gorgeous. It is going to be
We'll have to go.
really
We'll
gorgeous.
have to go and check it out. Oh, the backsplash is always kind of a
And
piece of resistance.
I haven't heard from Bill Bynum.
Hmm.
Bill Nagel probably won't be here.
Oh God, it's just because.
Somehow up in Maine, I don't know how he did it.
Oh,
Somehow
no.
he's got a muscle in the ankle that is pulling a piece of bone away from the ankle joint. which
Ooh,
is-
I've quite never heard of that. I mean, I
I haven't
can
either.
kind of imagine it, but I'm not sure how he could have done it.
I'm not-
There are a lot of little bones in the ankle.
Well, it's pulling one of them loose apparently or out or something. But anyway, he's probably not going to be here.
Yeah,
not
no.
not even on Zoom.
Yeah, no, none of these.
That was a maybe. And Bill Bynum, I just haven't heard from. So.
There it
Oh.
is.
Speak of the devil, it's Mr.
Yes, that probably is Mr. Bynum.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I know. There's so many. My
Oh.
ankles are still swelling, but a little less than they had been. I don't know. Should probably get
It is Mr. Bynum.
It's too early.
Huh?
No, it's only September. Come on.
I know.
No, I mean tighter, not heavier. I mean,
Morning, Bill.
like he gets up.
Hi, David.
Stockings and-
How are
I
you
was
this
told to do
morning?
that for my varicose veins.
Good. Couple of minutes late here, but sorry about that.
Well, that's all right. Bill has an ankle injury and won't be here.
Oh, no.
And the ladies are sitting here behind me, so you know they're here.
Yeah, I see.
And we are recording,
I was-
We are. Yes, I saw that.
and I think I'm all
I was so
together.
long ago, their oldest child.
And our kitchen is almost done.
Oh, good.
We're talking like at least 24 years.
Almost as. Yeah. I had so many things that are 90% done.
Think of the 70% rule.
Yeah,
You're way ahead of yourself.
yeah. He's doing the backsplash tile. He's got half done, and he's going to finish that today. And painters come tomorrow, and then we're done.
Oh, that does sound like a finish line approaching.
Yeah, about 3.5 weeks, which is faster than
Yeah. That's good.
either estimated or expected.
Right, right.
It started earlier than you expected.
And it started 4 weeks early, yes.
Yeah. So you're going to finish before you were supposed to begin.
Started.
Right.
Yeah, true.
A Tai Chi job. Okay, let me, I think I'll move here. Get the chair out of the picture.
Don't yawn.
I'm in bed better off. It was chilly.
Are you not sleeping
I slept. Yeah, I slept really well last night when I slept, and I slept for over 5.5 hours. But then I woke up, and I think by that point, usually I get up after 3 or 4, to go to the bathroom, and then I just couldn't get back to sleep.
Oh.
And that was like at 5:15, 5:30 this morning. My eyes still felt really like not ready, so I lay there with my eyes closed, but not really sleeping.
Yeah,
So I'm a
that's-
little, yeah,
Yes, not fun.
no, it happens.
Okay. I've bored you already?
I hope you're not planning to start with a meditation.
Carol will be like,
No,
prop
no.
her up with the pillows.
So, lengthening. What's happening with lengthening for you? What do you feel? What don't you feel? Where don't you feel it?
I think I've had we've been talking about lengthening, for a long time, but I think
Yeah.
I've had some deeper understanding in the last few weeks of it. I think last week there was it last week, the week before? I kind of forgotten where we are here, or when we missed some classes. Just kind of really remembering it coming from the back and not like just starting with an arm, Hello.
Hello, yes.
Also, just trying to, I went back over the notes. I think I'd always been. I was a little confused at first with the kind of like it may not be the same length going in and going, or going out and going in. But my understanding is, but we're aiming at it being the same. Is that right?
Yes, certainly traveling through the same path. So, ideally, and I only mentioned this in passing because in another class I had somebody who kept saying relax in relation to lengthening, and it's not really relax, it's releasing. And it's release in, if we're talking about the arm, it's releasing from the spine through the fingertips and back to the spine.
Yeah.
And of course the legs the same way. But also, the spine is also lengthening.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about the spine is when the when the posterior is lengthening out, the anterior is lengthening in. And when the anterior is lengthening out, the posterior is lengthening in. Without closing the spaces between the vertebrae. So, nothing to it.
Right, but we kind of, worked on the spine stretch with that same understanding, so it's not a new concept.
No, it isn't.
Right, but it's a reminder. I think
Yeah.
that sometimes I forget that. Some of those pieces.
Because I find this somehow one of the harder things for people to incorporate, to really feel. We think we feel it, and then all of a sudden, as Jeff said yesterday, he thinks he's doing lengthening, and all of a sudden he realizes how involved the muscles are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right, it's not pushing.
No, it's not. And that's part of why it's not just relaxing, because that really is talking about the muscles.
Right.
And we wanted, certainly at this point, ideally, we would like to feel it lengthening out the yang surfaces.
Yes.
And ideally, of course, through the yang side of the fascia.
Yes. Yep.
So it's not simply on the surface of the arm, and it's not simply releasing the muscles alone, it's releasing much more deeply into the body. So, Carol or Bill?
I think I feel lengthening still in the arms and hands the most. But I was even thinking before you said it, I feel the lengthening energetically going out, and I do think my lengthening in is just relaxing. It's not very energetic, it's just not lengthening out rather than actually lengthening in. Uh, but and the spine, I've been trying to start that from with the spine, and I think your comments that you just made about, we aren't lengthening we're lengthening and the opening and closing of the posterior, anterior, or anterior posterior, depending on which way you're going, uh, will help some there too.
Mm.
I definitely have a feeling over my whole body of expanding out and then probably more relaxing than lengthening in. So there's some expansion there, but energetically, I think definitely have a ways to go.
Well, it sounds like you're on the right track. And you're right. Really, the difficult part is distinguishing the energy from the muscles,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and really beginning to allow the energy to move and not just move the muscles, because it's very easy for us to just move the muscles.
Sure.
We all know how to do that. But moving the energy is much more difficult. And we're talking now about not just feeling the energy move, but actively moving the energy. And this, of course, directly involves extending the mind through the body. If you don't get the mind moving through the body, then you have difficulty even feeling the energy, much less directing its movement. So that's an essential part of this. And recognizing how it's different from just sinking the energy. Because you can do sinking by just simply opening and releasing and allowing the energy to drop. But that will not accomplish lengthening. So it's two different things. What?
No, I was just looking at Carol's face.
Right now, it seems like, well, I guess I just am flapping my arms.
No, I
Because
can't
it-
imagine that's something right there.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. I mean, that's one of the things that it's really hard for us in our culture to do, is if we haven't accomplished the end we want, then we're a bad person in some way. And we're not. We're just on a path, and each of us takes whatever length of time we need to find our way. It's not an easy path. It's got roots and stones, and it goes straight up the mountain.
I think it's also, there's so many layers, levels, buckets, kind of what word
Yeah.
to use, of thinking about this, right? There's
Yeah.
the feeling about it, there's the feeling it, there's the thinking of it, there's the remembering everything. There's concepts like how we use our mind that are very different than how we, so yeah, we've been flapping our arms since we were born, but we're Westerners.
Yeah.
We don't think in that same way. And so I think that for me is part of the challenge of not getting too intellectual about it, not getting, or just kind of getting into, oh, what does it feel like? Kind of hippy dippy stuff or whatever, It's like, yeah. So it at times it does feel like, I mean, I resonated with your face. It was sort of like, oh yeah, I get it. Yep. You're like, sometimes it just kind of goes, what? I thought I had it, and then.
Absolutely, I remember that.
Yeah.
Sensation. You're not.
And I haven't been focusing on specifically lengthening. I've been, every single posture, something else is going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Like 3 is being very circular
Good.
right now, and that's what's going on with 3, and so and 7 is also very circular, and that's when I feel the spine most.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good.
But I
Yeah.
have nothing specific to say about lengthening in or out or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think it's like all the, it's, that once we really get something and it's really there, then it's easier to think about the next thing
Yeah. Exactly.
without losing
yeah,
the circularity, without losing, the breathing, whatever it is, right? That just kind of becomes, okay, this is what it is now. I don't have to
Yep.
keep thinking about it. But there's many, David keeps giving us another layer every
I
time we
know.
think we're kind of almost there. Oh, now I'm going to add something new or remind you that.
I don't want you to be bored.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, don't worry. Boredom is not what I think of when I think of Tai Chi.
No, I'm not serious.
Even if you fall asleep.
A comment on 3. I I've been making that more circular too. Partly, Carol, your comment many weeks ago about thinking about the circularity in 3. The thing that I have difficulty with in 3 now is the stretch to either side, and because I mean mechanically we've got the rotation and we're going out to the side, and we the in terms of going around the clock image, there's a very short distance that has a stretch versus uh, the sort of compression or lengthening in part.
Mm-hmm.
And so the spine and having that work, and not many weeks ago you said we're not coming up when we're doing when we're stretching out to at 3 and 6. We're going out and trying to make that small and make that work with the spine, and having my hips rotated at the same time feels very awkward. It doesn't feel natural.
Well, one thing is not to feel rushed at that extension at 3 and 9. And I have to say that really getting lengthening involved in 3 was, I think, a big step for me,
Mm-hmm.
because that way I began to really feel what the energy was doing during that posture. So I did, for instance, I did a lot of practice at one point where I made a point of really focusing on the lengthening, and so I would lengthen in and then lengthen out, and you don't have to rush it. It doesn't have to go fast. We sort of feel like, well, there's not much movement there, it's going to go quickly. Well, it doesn't have to go quickly. It can go slowly. It can go slowly. And then you can feel that lengthening in all the way to the other side and then lengthen out.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to rush it. Yes, it's the particularly when we're coordinating the movements with the breath, it's not the inhale and exhale are not always the same, and that's intentional. We do different things with inhale and exhale, and so in relation to the energy. So and also you can, by using the breath in that movement at 3 and 9, you can actually increase what's happening by being aware of the force of that exhale. So great that you're getting the circularity, but bring the lengthening into it too. That's really, for me, lengthening was the way. I mean, I'm a lucky person. I have always felt the energy to some degree without too much difficulty. That's not true for everybody by any means. So I was very lucky with that. But lengthening was what helped me really begin to feel that energy movement and feel it more deeply into my body.
I understand it. I don't necessarily always feel it.
What?
I said I understand that just from the little bits of of experiences.
So we sort of we grasp, bend, and stretch, and twisting pretty easily. Easily is probably not the word, but more easily than lengthening. And lengthening seems kind of mysterious to us because it's so counterintuitive, and yet it is very important.
Sometimes those counterintuitive things are.
Yes.
We think,
darn.
No. I know. But does it make sense? And my intuition wouldn't lead me there. Oh, okay.
So,
and just the language.
Yes.
Lengthening in.
Yep.
Is a contradiction.
Mm-hmm. Right, because lengthening feels like, or putting your mind in your body, like it is in my body. It's right here, right?
So, one of the things I understand exactly what you're saying, Carol. One of the things I did, and I just throw this out, is when I was practicing, just in order to begin to get the awareness of the lengthening, it certainly did not take me to clearly feeling the energy all the time, but was saying release to each of those. So
releasing in and releasing out?
Yeah, because that's what you're doing.
Okay.
So when you start, actually you go into releasing out, and then you go into releasing in, and then you're releasing out, and you're releasing in. So I did quite a bit of practice where I simply said that in my head.
It's like what we were talking about in the car and the form.
Yeah, I did it a lot.
It's like what we were just talking about in the car in terms of the form.
Right.
In, out, in, out, in. It's kind of like, it is like just saying the words to get it in there.
It helps.
And using releasing instead of lengthening. Can
If it makes
let
more
go of all
sense.
the meaning of the
That
English
word
meaning of
otherwise.
lengthen.
And letting go of the word relax too,
Yeah.
because that a lot of people get.
Yeah, that's
that
not one
get in
I
the
ever
way.
really thought of, but
Yeah.
but I understand why people
Some
would.
do.
Right, sure. But that word only works if you're talking about stretching, I think.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And it doesn't. Yeah.
So, Anything else you want to say or add, Bill? Or ask?
No, this is. I'm good right now.
So, one of the things too that I'm going to suggest, and we can play with this, is doing doing Master Joe's 8 Gates practices, some of them, but really thinking about the lengthening, because it is when we go into this, we have lengthened in already. I mean, we have to think about one of the things we forget about. We get casual about our stepping out. So the fact that we're lengthening in, lengthening out, lengthening in, lengthening out, lengthening in, releasing out, releasing in. And you can go right on.
So, yes, I understand that. What is happening with the other arm?
It's doing the opposite.
Of course.
Sometimes in this practice, it's doing the opposite. Obviously, there are places in gods and in the form where they're doing the same
Yes,
thing.
yeah. I was just, only right now, my little mind. It's only,
Your mind is not little.
no, okay, right. But my mind needs to focus on just this right now.
Yeah.
So so when we are out here, we are kind of like.
Which
Exactly. There's a little ribbon. They're going, okay.
Which is often what's happening in the form.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. But I was just
And
But I couldn't see what was happening with your other arm.
Well,
obviously.
no,
I mean, no, I understand why.
it's very small. But the other thing is to recognize that the lengthening out starts now, and it doesn't complete until here, and then the lengthening in starts here,
Yeah.
but it doesn't complete until you get to here. So, and notice that I'm doing this in a bow stance, because it adds a little complexity to what you're doing, but it also really gives you, I think, a much easier way to define the in and the out than when you're simply standing in the basic dynamic sphere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I want you to stand up and play with this a little. See if it helps at all.
We take this down. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Probably not a good idea, huh? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
So I'm going to lead you into it, and then I'm going to step back and let you continue after we kind of establish what we're doing. So one of the things I want to remind you is that the practice begins from here. It doesn't begin when you step out into some other position. It begins here, and it begins with allowing yourself to go through whatever you need to become as present and aware as possible. at the moment. As close to Wuji as possible at the moment. So it's always important to take a little bit of time. We're always feeling we have to rush to the next thing. And the lengthening can begin as you stand. And it will not be very visible at all. You're not making big movements, but you're beginning to simply be aware of the energy lengthening out and lengthening in. And trying to begin to be aware of releasing the energy out. And then let it release in. When you're ready to begin, going to release in to that foot that you're shifting on to, and release out into your step. And then release in and step forward, and obviously that's where the out begins. So you're releasing out and then releasing in. Out and releasing in. And releasing out. And releasing in. So keeping every part of the movement constant, continuous. And if you can, feel the energy releasing out and the energy releasing in. Out. Weight 60% back. 60% in. Feel the energy move in the yin surface. Out the yang. Releasing in through the wrist, elbow, shoulder, scapula, spine. And out. Finding that movement through the entire arm. And the spine if you can. And the legs. that continuous rotation of the body as well as the arms and legs. Let go. When you complete this repetition, change to the other side and notice if there are differences. Next time you complete the right arm movement, close. Sit.
I remember when that was so difficult. When I'd be like looking, like, oh, what am I doing now? Thankfully, that's not the case anymore.
Good.
But that was, I think the challenge was that I was paying so much attention to the the moving arm, if we could. Then I found this a couple of times just kind of going too limp. This was
Yep.
relaxing too much, not intentionally.
Yep.
But I was aware of that, but also
Yeah.
just kind of realized that yeah. So next practice I'll try a little better with. Yeah.
Well, that's back to our separating. the-
Yes,
the
exactly.
mind.
So I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just an observation, not a.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
And,
move forward
and
from it.
this is the most simple of these practices. And
Yeah.
it does give you the opportunity, though, just doing this much, to really it's a movement we've done for years and years and years and years. So it's not something new.
Right.
What, Bill?
Yeah, I really appreciate doing that again. It's been a while and it took a couple of cycles and then it's a little bit like a bicycle
Yeah,
feeling.
you're back there.
And it's yeah, but I hadn't done it just staying in the pose stance and changing hands. I don't remember actually doing that before, which is a little bit different feeling. I mean, usually, come around and you step out and then go advance
We're moving.
with your
That's right.
bow stance as you reverse hands. Um, it was one of the many variations of how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but thinking with that and thinking about the lengthening out and in and the whole body movement and the yin yang side and the weight shift going back. It's the five elements in there, and it's just very nice to do that this morning.
It's simple enough to arrive at the point where you let go of thinking too much and really work on feeling what's going on.
Someday maybe three will be like riding a bicycle.
Someday it may.
Right now it's still unicycle.
Yeah. Right. Right. But remember,
Yeah, it's
I
more
find
like that's more like riding a unicycle for me.
Well, at least a unicycle is round.
But I, yes, that's true. Really. But I find it helpful. I guess I must because like when I said, "Oh, I remember when this was hard," right? So I think that's a lesson for all of these lessons, which is that once this all felt mysterious or too difficult or unachievable, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so if we could do it with those things, we can, persist and do it. Keep doing it. Just remember that. So that layer, that foundation, like you say, after a couple of times, it's like, oh yeah, I got that. But now I'm going to move to the next, kind of thinking about it in terms of lengthening, which I
Yeah.
may not have been doing before.
And doing it in the bow stance with the weight shift and brings the whole body into it. It's harder when you're just standing there.
Yep.
You mean like with three?
No.
Is that what you're saying? Oh, if
No.
you're just not moving at all.
No,
then.
doing the
Doing
the dynamic
guys.
sphere.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just doing gods. You're just
You're there.
there.
Right. You're not moving your whole. Yeah. You're not. Yeah.
And so there isn't that whole.
There's. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's easier to be aware and mind, but in
Yep.
the whole body.
Yes.
When-
That was
when-
one of the
when-
things that I noticed was that as you did this, the movement of your body began to coordinate
Yes.
more
Yeah.
and become more completely involved.
Yeah,
That's
I felt that.
interesting. Yeah.
But I think as you say that, it's like I know in God's or I know we're doing more than it looks like we're doing. But I do think that, for example, as much as I'm challenged by 7, and really being led by the qua kind of goes, oh yeah, the qua, which kind of is more that other element, right? Of like, oh, it's more whole body than we think when we're, as you say, flapping our arms around.
Yes.
To quote Carol.
Well, we all have to go through those flapping
Well, we do.
stages.
We all do.
Yeah.
That's the point. That is the point. Exactly.
Yeah.
We all start with that, and then we're like, "Oh my God, what?" Yeah, right. And then and then going back to okay, next level. Yeah.
Yep.
Next layer. Next. Yeah. Yep. So we're not just I mean, that's flapping your arms around too, right? I can do that now, but it doesn't mean anything without the deeper.
Did you feel more doing that, Carol?
Yeah.
So I found that helpful, and you can take it on into. I have never pursued it entirely. This is, of course, Master Joe's 8 Gates training, but I think there must be at least 100 variations of just that practice.
Oh, good.
It is fascinating as you get into it, because it takes you through every possible movement you're going to ever make anywhere else. And you think, oh, I'm just doing the same thing over and over, but when you really get into all the variations, then it's no longer just repetition.
Can you give me an example of all the variations?
Sure.
Or some of it.
Or stop, not all. I don't have time for another
No,
99.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So
I know you won't,
Yeah.
but
I started out with some unauthorized variations.
So, really, the first stage is that there are 8 starting points for the pattern. So you really, first we just do 4, because doing 8 gets really complex. But what I'm saying is and usually with this we stick with the same arm, with the leg that's forward initially, simply because it's a little easier, but you also can do the other. Too.
Of course, okay.
So, we do what we just did.
Yep.
And the pattern started at 6 o'clock. But now, the pattern's going to start at 9. So the fullness of yang is here.
Gotcha. So then
And back
Yeah.
to yin.
Yeah.
And forward
Sure. Just going inside.
and back. And the distance from the fullness of yang to your beginning point, not the end of the pattern, but your beginning point, has now gotten longer. So your out takes longer to get here. And then you start here, and yang completes here, and yin completes here, and back
Gotcha.
to yang, and forward to yin, and back to your starting point. And then you go to the other one. It's just
Right. So where your feet are, where you began, all of them, and then you multiply that times 8.
times 8, and
plus, yeah.
plus you can do right and then left.
Yep.
So when you're doing that, I mean, you started at 6.
Yep.
But your arm started at 6, but then you were
The
saying
pattern had rotated.
But so you're not coming back to this part of the pattern. You still come back to the bottom.
After you, yes, each one ends at the bottom. And that's
right.
a good way to put
But
it.
yeah, I got
So you don't get confused.
Yeah.
So what's happened is that the second time the pattern is rotated to here, and the third time it's rotated to here, and the fourth time it's rotated to here. And then the next stage is to,
But it always comes back down to the.
yes, always
But
comes.
this is the beginning, right? So we just need to put that on a lazy Susan and just kind
Yeah.
of move it around, right? I mean, that's kind of
We
it,
have
right?
that.
We had that.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did. The other version, the next stage, and there are more, but I'll just tell you this one so you have, if you want to play with this, is to change, reverse the weight shift. So yin is forward, and yang is back.
Oh, ooh.
Yin
Yep.
is back forward, and yang so it reverses, and there are more variations.
Yeah.
So
See, and then you find them. Yeah.
so, but it's an incredible practice, and the thing is that in doing all of a number of variations, you don't have to do them all, but playing around with that and really being aware of the lengthening as you're doing it gets you accustomed to doing it in really any position.
Right. Yep, I hear you.
So that's one of those things that I think that practice of Master Joe's is really brilliant. Because when you take all the parts,
Yeah.
It really is an amazing practice. Anyway, that's not basically what we're here for, but I thought that might be helpful in working on this. Bill, any questions or thoughts for you?
No, that's terrific. Thank you for it's a golden oldie, sort of.
It is. It's a golden old. You got
Bring
it.
that old baby out of the closet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do an ankle version of that every morning to keep my ankles flexible and strong, and I do it with both feet.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
That's good.
I should try that with my swollen ankles.
So
You tell that to Bill. The
I
other
was
Bill.
going to say,
I think he's not ready for that right now.
not right now, but maybe later.
No,
might be a
To
good thing.
strengthen.
So, what I would like you to do, of course,
Of course. Keep moving.
is apply this to gods, and try to really open and allow yourself to lengthen in each posture, and each one of them is different and has its own demands and difficulties. So I completely understand that, but the ideal, of course, is that the lengthening is going on constantly, just as all the other pieces are going on constantly.
Uh-huh.
So, if you've rested enough, do a flow of gods and see what happens.
You want a 10 flow? What do you want? What are you looking for? I have no idea what time it is or anything. I'm like, well, I didn't bring
Actually, I
my
have
watch
no
on
either.
purpose, so.
Yeah. Actually, we should only do a 10.
Because it's late, is what you're saying.
It's 9:55. So, yeah, do a 10 rep flow. Just to,
Okay, sure.
enough to play with it
Yep.
and see.
It's getting warm, huh, Karen?
I could turn off the heat if you're
No,
too
I'm
warm.
fine. well, my
Just take
toes.
off
No,
the
I mean, if other people are uncomfortable, I'm not. Carol just prepared for colder basement, I think. So.
It doesn't unzip.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
It's one noise or another here lately. We'll
A
manage.
test of staying in the present
It's
moment.
yes, exactly. We can do this.
Good. So why don't you sit for a minute, if you want. You don't have to.
Come on.
Um, Carol, indeed, your three, I felt was moving beyond circular towards hemispherical. That was a very. I thought that was a very good movement, development. Everybody's making progress, and the one thing I wanted to remind, two things for everybody to keep in mind, is that it is as important for the body to keep moving as it is for the arms to keep moving. If we remember our Tai Chi principle, if any part of the body stops, all parts stop. So what this is, of course, saying is that in a movement, say like 4, that you're going down and in, and then out, and continuing up all the way to here. So the movement does not, as I think we know, body up, stop, and the arms keep moving, which I saw happening. Not only in 4, that was occurring in several places. So you might be aware of that. Obviously, comes a point where if you have fully developed your ability to move the energy, it really doesn't matter whether the body moves or not. But at this stage, we need to.
I hear what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is to be clear about the bending and extending as you're working on lengthening. In that, again, if I use 4, one of the things I saw happening was getting to the end of 4 and the arms had already started to bend. Okay? They're here at the end of 4. They're extended.
Yeah.
The bend is all the way down. And the extension is all the way up.
Yeah.
And that's true in every posture. So that's just those two things could
We are
use some
clearly
attention.
doing 4 wrong. I am clearly doing 4 wrong. Yeah, because I am. Yeah.
It's
I got you.
There's a fine line between having the elbows out here and having them in,
yeah.
because
It is.
they're already, the focus is to get them in as soon as possible, but it's not.
No, not as soon as possible. In by the time they come down to the dantian.
Yeah.
Not as soon as possible. It's
Okay.
there's an adjustment.
Definitely.
So that's just like
Well, that's a contradiction to, yeah. But this whole practice has been full of contradictions. So
right. We just have to deal with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, clearly we don't want the elbows to be going out. That's a text.
So
That's not you.
No.
So that's exactly what we were talking about here, is that we are slowly extending out and we are slowly extending in. And we are slowly bending out and we are slowly bending in. And that's basic. I understand what you're saying. I mean, God's is indeed, in some
Full of
ways, full of
contradictions.
contradictions, but those principles are still in place. They're not changing. They're
Mhm,
not changing.
mhm.
So, and that's another reason why that Shenzhen practice sometimes can be helpful, because it's a movement we're very familiar with, and we can be really clearly aware of doing all of the pieces.
You know, I think that in terms of the body not stopping, 4 is my biggest challenge
Mm-hmm.
in terms of kind of going, oh God, don't be straight up, and then you're, or what, whatever. And it may be because I'm very clearly kind of, bringing it in wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm off. I knew I was off, but I thought, and today my knees hurt, so I know I was
Ooh.
raising myself a little faster, just because when it's harder to do when slowly,
Understandable.
if your knee is going right here, it's like really a lump. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but I have to it's one of those things, Carol, where you're like, you think you got something, and then you're like, what?
Yeah.
Gotta rethink that one. But I have been trying to really make sure my body doesn't stop, and finding it for a few things challenging, for a few
Yeah.
postures challenging. And 4 is probably the biggest. I had a hard time with 6 today. I don't know what my shoulders felt tense, and my shoulders don't usually feel tense. I don't know, and it might have been the knees, just because I was by that point had been moving up and down, but I was very aware of it not feeling tighter,
Yeah.
and that went into 7 a little bit, although I was able to bring it down a little. So.
On 7, you don't have to move the knees. So.
Well, right, exactly. Yeah.
Anything for you, Bill?
No, I don't think so, but I think this has been an excellent session.
Yeah. A lot here.
As always, I hope.
Always a lot. But there's,
Good. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bill,
See you
have
next
a good
week.
week.
You guys also
Yeah.
enjoy that new kitchen.
I will. I already am, let me tell you.
So you're already at
Okay.
the point where you can cook in there.
Yeah, not yesterday and today, but previous to that.
Uh-huh.
So we could, over the weekend.
Now you can be messy with the backsplash there.
Yeah.
Bubble up spaghetti sauce.
Well, it doesn't have any grout in it yet, so
Okay.
we gotta wait on that.
Yeah, be nice until it's all ready.
Okay. See you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
I'm gonna go check and see if that was
Yeah. Oh, you're
John.
probably right.
telling me something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Any particular questions for you, Joanne?
In the form?
Sure.
Yeah, Carol and I were actually discussing the form on our way here. Because I think we're both still trying to make sure we are out. And so at some point I woke up this morning, I think it's because I woke up with only 5.5 hours sleep and
Mm-hmm.
had a very, very short practice yesterday morning. And I was like, oh my God, I've forgotten it all. And I don't think I have.
No, probably not.
I'm sure I haven't, but between my knee and my brain, I'm like, oh my God. But we both
all
thought
right?
I thought the conversation was interesting in that we're both kind of like what you had been saying earlier. I think, we're both like going in, out. I mean, we're like really doing a mantra of that and That's helpful. But
But
we're not going on. We're not. We're just like doing the most basic.
Yeah.
Because there's just another level of translation when you're like, oh, am I doing that one? Oh, yeah, that is on, right? No, that's, yeah. Not Lou, and then where am I? So just simplifying it so we can.
Yeah.
And doing the in and out while doing the motion, it's it's got to go in.
Yeah.
If you want to, or it's got to go out here if you want to be able to do the in part.
That's right.
And then you got to have the in.
And then you got to do the out, and then another, yeah, and then it's so. It is because this style is so subtle.
Yeah.
That's the other piece of it. It's just
Yeah.
like, yes, I am, and then it's really more moving the energy than just seeing. Oh yeah, my hand's really turning because it's not really. It is slightly, but some of it is more obvious than others, I guess.
And also, it would be easier if we had done this with the Yang style. You know, if we'd studied the Yang style to this depth.
Oh yeah, right,
Then
right, and then
doing this would be easier, but I don't think I was capable of doing it at the time
Then.
we were really focusing on the Yang style. So
we're all learning.
yeah, absolutely. Believe me.
I mean, I think that's the wonderful thing about this practice.
Oh.
It is that it reminds us that we're never quite there.
Yep.
You know, which I know to some people it's totally disappointing, but and I thought I'd get there by whatever age or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, I've only had, I think, 2 people walk out of class. So,
out of frustration, you mean walk out and never come back, or what do you
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
You just say this is too much.
yeah. One in fury, one absolute fury, and the other one just.
Which is a person who probably really needed this.
Yeah.
If that was their reaction. I mean, I certainly have frustration, but I would never call it fury.
No.
But that's frustration at myself, more like, why can't I get this? Or, yeah, right. Huh, that's interesting. And other people just kind of drop away for other reasons, I guess. But
Yeah. So, the keeping in mind that the in out is also lengthening, obviously.
Well, the lengthen is silent.
It's all silent. But one that is certainly easier, but really helps you be very clear about it is wave hand, because you have that very clear transition, somewhere right here in the very center of your movement, and I found that working on wave hands was helpful in doing the other movements, so that if I really was clear that I'm lengthening in and lengthening out and lengthening in and lengthening out and lengthening in, and just being really able to be really clear, because that's a nice. There's a bit of large movement.
It's more obvious.
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Much more obvious.
Grasping Sparrow's tail is not remotely obvious, but
No.
that needs. That's where
Yeah. Well, and so I don't know. I just found that working on wave hands helped me do grasping Sparrow's tail.
okay.
Because I could just
Flow.
be really clear about what those movements felt like. You know,
See, and
so that I wasn't wondering, is this in or is this out? You know, I mean, it's I have a real sense of what that feeling of the energy is. So then when I go into this, then I don't have that question about
Okay.
what does it feel like, because I know what it feels like. It's just smaller and quicker and
I think for me, because I feel like I had abbreviated that for so long, like doing maybe 4 out of the 8 or whatever, I don't know. That I'm back to kind of I'm back to the real basics, but I think I'm ready for that next.
Yeah.
But I feel it in other places, so I think that is
Yeah.
helpful. And at some point, I would like to be able to get back to
yeah.
the energies, just because they do speak to me, but not when I'm in the middle of 3 layers of trying to do something
Yeah.
again, or trying to put it back together again, or put it together again in the right way.
Yeah. So
Yeah, these past 2 weeks I've done a lot of that, of grasping the sparrow's tail. And then done the whole form with the in and out through the whole thing.
Great.
Good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that. Well, I was better the week before than this week, I have to say.
yeah, even doing that, and even though it may become at various stages as you do the flow, just the words that you're saying,
Uh-huh.
it helps establish the rhythm that you're looking for
Yeah.
and the pattern that you're looking for.
Yes.
So
It helps to stay present rather than, oh, look at that better vacuum.
Right. Right. Yeah, I count for a variety of reasons sometimes, just to kind of stay present.
and that's part of what you're trying to do is to learn to be present,
Right.
to stay there.
Uh huh.
No choice.
Yeah.
Right.
So, are there movement issues?
That's kind of as far as I've gotten this week.
Okay.
And I need to go soon because John has a PT appointment at 12:45.
To get moving.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was not, well, I didn't expect him to be up when I left.
Right.
He better be up now. But
Okay. Well,
I can't always count on that.
good. Well, this is. I mean,
This
the
is
whole
good.
whole thing is good, and I think it will.
Yep.
Yes, oh, it was nice to get a reminder of the transition.
Oh
that
yeah.
this-
Yep.
You know,
Because that
yeah, because you're already into my YouTube site. We, Dave and Billy O and I did, I don't know, a whole probably 2 years of classes on that 8 gates practice. So
who was Bill? Who was in it?
well, Dave O.
Dave O.
Dave O.
Okay.
Bill Advancws, you
Yeah,
probably
I know Bill.
do you know him? Okay. He's not very well. He's having some problems at the moment. Although I don't know what's going to happen there.
Mm.
Not good. He has heart issues, and he had some fairly serious attack of some sort. Not a full-blown heart attack, but he's ended up with having to have some kind of a device that he wears all the time, connected by 2 tubes to his body that pumps that fluid through. And I don't know what that really all has to do, but he has to change it every 2 days. So
Wow. Is that rather than being invasive and going in?
I
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
haven't either.
How old is he?
88.
Mm-hmm.
Oldish.
What?
Oldish.
Oldish, older. I refuse the word old.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like that word either.
But
And I hate it when my younger sisters say it.
They're feeling old.
They say, "Oh, getting old." I'm like, "Stop it."
yeah, right.
I'm also the only one still working, and they're both retired. They're both still very, very active, and they retired into volunteer life, or
Yeah.
Mary still picks up some jobs, but yeah, but it's it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
Well, some of it's a state of body.
Well, that's true. I'm not denying that the body doesn't work the same.
No, it does not. The reality is.
The reality is right, but I also knew people whose bodies didn't work when they were in their 40s.
Yeah.
For a lot of other reasons, right?
Right.
A lot of friends who have passed away. That much from 20 to 67.
Listen, the fact that I'm the age I am and still moving reasonably
Yes.
well.
Yes, moving, your mind is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, might be the eyesight's going a little bit,
My eyesight is going a little,
But that's kind of,
but Tai Chi has served me well.
I think that's very true. Thank you so much.
Go, Carol.
Go, Carol. We'll go, Carol. Go for you. Yeah, yeah. We didn't get the cats today.
Moki's out, I think, and Mango, I think, is hiding because of
The noise.
the gentleman doing the. He's very nice, the guy doing the tile, but
But some cats just.
he's a stranger.
Cats don't like strangers, or I have a cat that would just stay in the closet upstairs if there's somebody in the house that they are.
Well,
Not
Mango isn't
familiar.
that bad, but
This one's pretty
she'll
bad.
come out and look at them, but until they've been around for a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Isn't that funny? There really is a scaredy cat kind of a thing.
But not Moki.
But not all of them.
Nope.
No, you're right. We have those two that we adopted a couple of years ago. Such different personalities, and one will come and check it out, and yeah, the other one is like, nah, no thanks. Took them forever to get used to the kids. All right,
All right.
we're off to see the wizard. as we
All right.
say.
Well, have a good time seeing the wizard. May the wizard
May the wizard
grant you what you need.
Thank you. Have a good week, David.
You too.
Let's check out the week we did next week.
Yes, we'll go.